Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again, and it is now a week after my trip to Bandai Card Fest. I wanted to make this video a little bit earlier, but unfortunately I've been sick. As you can probably hear in my voice, I've still got a little bit of congestion, so if I do cough throughout this video once or twice, I do apologize. I'm still getting over it a little bit. But I think this is an important video to make because, as many of you guys know, I love this game, and many of you love this game, and I am a huge fan of One Piece, and I want to continue to see this game grow. But there are some things that I feel should be done, and it's surprising that they haven't been done better for, you know, maximum coverage of this game, and to really, you know, let it flourish and allow, you know, the seeds to grow and just continue having new players join, old players potentially come back because they didn't like an old meta or choices that the game was making. I personally think it's going in a great direction, but this video in particular, I wanted to talk about Bandai Card Fest's biggest problem that we had in North America. And now I do want to preface this by saying this does seem to be very, like, only for North America that this problem exists. But I know that from speaking with others and from speaking, you know, to like a worldwide tournament organizer, you know, standpoint, the North American region is the largest region of player base right now for this game. And that's why the tournaments are, you know, there's much more events here. There's the player cap is a bit higher here usually. And, you know, it's nothing against other countries. It's literally just that there's more players that want to play here, right? At the moment. And so with that being the case, to have this broadcast that happened for Bandai Card Fest, in my opinion, just be a bit of a letdown is really unfortunate. And I think that it just doesn't fully capture, you know, how good these events are. But if you're not a competitor, how do you experience that? And so that's what I want to get into today. I want to start with some positives. I personally thought that the venue was amazing for Bandai Card Fest. I thought that they made incredible displays for everybody to walk around and check out, either some cards, some, you know, some figures, some, you know, different artworks that they had posted up, you know, these beautiful displays. It was just incredible. As I was walking around the venue, I got to see many of these things, and I personally thought that they killed it. I thought it looked really good. It was a lot better organization than some of the previous Bandai Card Fests, in my opinion, but I also didn't do a lot of like vendor, you know, stuff while I was there, so I didn't wait in lines very much to go and buy product and all that. But as far as I could tell, the organization did seem a lot better. And from friends of mine that were standing in line, you know, they said that the process was a little bit, you know, easier than it was in some of the others. So I like that it was, at least it seemed like, you know, it's getting better, you know, the improvement on that, which I really enjoy. I enjoy that they had the dedicated competition space for the competitors of each game to be competing in. And this is like the smallest thing, but it's very important to me, that there was food right beside the competitor section. So I could walk outside, and within, you know, 50 feet of me, I could just, you know, go and grab a little bite to eat or something, usually very quickly. So I thought that there were, you know, some great positives, but those were just some things I wanted to hit on. But the biggest part that I thought was very lacking was the whole broadcast. I mean, we have so many games that Bandai makes that it's hard for them to do a broadcast that encapsulates everything, right? I understand the idea of Bandai Card Fest wanting to really bring about, you know, Digimon, Battle Spirit Saga, Dragon Ball, One Piece, but now we're throwing in Gundam, Union Arena, like all of these games, just so many games coming out within the past couple of years that it's like, how do we get to a point where we're able to have all of these games in one broadcast? It's not possible. It's not possible. And I really hope that they learn that, because it seems that other countries have full dedicated broadcasts to One Piece, right? You know, this is a One Piece channel, so we're going to be a little selfish here, and we're going to talk about how I would like to see this for One Piece. But really, this stands for all the games, right? Dedicated broadcasts for each game so that people know where they can go and watch the game that they want to see, right? I have friends of mine that don't play One Piece. They enjoy Digimon. So when Digimon was on the Bandai Card Fest, broadcast, they were very happy. They wanted to see that. But there were a lot of comments that I saw in the live stream of people saying, where's One Piece? When's One Piece? Why are we watching Digimon? Why are these games on? We don't want to watch this, blah, blah, blah. And so you have, a few thousand viewers in a live stream with like very small percentages going to different games. And they're like, I don't know why I'm watching this. I don't want to watch this. And there's like an even smaller percentage of players that maybe do play all the games that we're interested in seeing all of them. But yet again, that's something that can be easily, solved by, I can have multiple windows open and I can watch both broadcasts. Or, every broadcast is done at separate times. So it makes it a little bit easier. But I think that was just something that they really could have capitalized on by having separate broadcasts for the Bandai Card Fest in particular. It would also alleviate a lot of the stress on the casters, and I mean this in no way, shape, or form as a dig towards the casters by any means, but because I know that I couldn't do it personally. But you could tell that maybe the advanced knowledge of someone that truly plays, I'm going to use the game of One Piece as the example because I don't know the other games very well, but as far as One Piece, you could tell that there were moments that the commentators maybe just didn't have the best game knowledge of what it would be best in that situation. It was more just kind of spouting out some of the bigger cards or some of the pieces that you would typically find in a deck. But I mean, I couldn't imagine, because you have to know 5 games, 6 games. Those casters have to know and understand all most of the cards in like 5 or 6 games and be able to commentate for them as the championships are happening. I mean, that's absurd. That's absurd. If they were to hire and outsource content creators, professional casters of the people that are involved in the communities of these games, I mean, you would have outstanding coverage of these events. And I personally think that this is something that, with the better coverage that they could provide in the future for these, with separate broadcasts, dedicated casters to each game, it's going to lead to a further growth of the game, each game respectively. But, here we're specifically talking about One Piece. And I would just love to see that personally. I think that it's a really unfortunate flaw that Bandai Card Fest had, and it didn't, in my opinion, really like open up the hearts of a lot of people that weren't able to make the event. If they saw the stream, they might not be so inclined to come out to the event, because it just seemed like, okay, I saw 2 games of One Piece. That was the game I wanted to see, and I wanted to see a bit more than that. And I don't know, a bit of an unfortunate circumstance in my opinion. I think the dedicated broadcast would go a long way. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, though. I want to hear, what your experience was, whether you were at the festival itself and you were competing, or if you were there as a spectator, or if you were at home and you were viewing. What do you think could be done? Do you think some of, what I laid out as like maybe some better ideas and hopefully a path forward in the future is, the idea that we should be going for? Or maybe there's something a little bit better? Yet again, I just kind of wanted to talk about this because it was something that was bothering me. And I know I know that my words are probably falling on deaf ears. It's not like I'm sending this video directly to any of the people at Bandai or Play TCG, because that's not the point. I just want to see this game really, really fully thrive and be in the best spot that it can. And for that to happen, I really do think that Bandai needs to be distancing each game from itself in these large events and dedicate these full broadcasts, because otherwise you're just making it a smorgasbord of different card games that, probably 20% of your viewer base or your customer market, if you will, is not interested in the other 80% of games that you offer. So you really got to kind of like nitpick that and really choose, which ones are your most successful. And if I had to take a guess, it seems like One Piece is doing really well right now, so I would love to see dedicated broadcasts in the future. But yet again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.